because we never made a call. She just got back home. This person is crazy. I noticed that I become friend with people who are crazy. So this is a pattern that I'm seeing. So in 3 seconds, I'll invite her, and we never had a coffee chat together. Are you ready? So three. Are you ready, Cristina? Make me a sign. Are you ready? Perfect. So I see her in backstage. So I'm collecting the questions. So 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Cristina.
Hello,
So,
everyone. Hello.
so
How are
yeah,
you doing?
I'm doing well. So, Cristina, you are absolutely crazy, and this is one of the
Yes.
reasons why I become friend. I become friend with all the people who are crazy on social
Yeah.
media. They do crazy on content creation. You just came in, and we already have like 3, 4 questions. So this will be a great episode. But before that, really, respect for like what you did. We risked
Yeah.
also. Basically, we put faith in the Italian public transportation. This has been like
This is
just a
not this
leap
is
of
not for everybody. Yeah.
it's a leap of faith, I would say. So, Cristina, first of all, I'm honored to have you here in this podcast series. This is episode 204. So, please introduce yourself. Really welcome. Ciao. And how are you?
Ciao, Francesco. I'm really great. Do you hear me better like this? Maybe I can use this as a tiny microphone. Is it any better?
What? I think that it's working. It's working, I think.
It's
Yeah.
working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then
It's
I'll
okay.
have a tiny microphone, I guess. It's fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird looking. Anyways, I'm Cristina. I'm a front end developer. I would say guess junior. I've been in the tech field for 2 months now, officially like having a title and stuff like this. But I've been on tech Twitter for more than a year, and it has been honestly life changing. And in general, like tech Twitter and stuff like this has been life changing. Um, so yeah, this is basically it. I don't know. I found a job pretty quickly. I did a lot of things. I built in public. I used to build in public. Now I'm just like tweet about like having a job in tech and stuff like this and how I got it and things. So this is basically it. You probably noticed I haven't prepared anything. I just came in. I just came in like blank. Everything is blank for me right now.
Yes, yes. So I don't know why we didn't meet before because I'm always craving for finding Italian people on social media. It's super hard. I don't know. We have been busy in doing probably different stuff, but yes. So yes. So I think that you are doing an amazing job on Twitter. I would like to start with a sort of introduction. Usually, this is also how I start this
Mhm.
series. Any episode. So like, how did you get into tech? How did you become a developer? This is especially important for this episode because we'll talk about developers and career in a specific. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I got into Web3, like the regular, I guess in 2000, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2019 that everybody was like in Web3 and everybody like, was really curious about the tech and stuff like this. And I got in like into NFTs because like I'm really into art and stuff. And I was curious about like what are those pictures that are selling for hundreds and hundreds and millions and stuff. So I kind of got into it. I got into community management. I got into product management as well for NFTs. And I realized, like, when talking to crypto developers and stuff, they're like the most skilled people, and they were the people that were kind of governing, the space, the Web3 space, and they're like so powerful. And in terms of like, not in terms of like real power, but in terms of like they could do so many things on their own. They could build tools, they can help the community and stuff like this. And this is really what like struck like some difference for me. And I was like, if I would have been like a developer, I could do like this so many things just like by writing code. And this sounds really really interesting. And I decided to kind of start a small course here in Italy. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Stop Impact, probably yes. Yeah, I did that basically. And honestly, at the beginning, it was very difficult, but because it was like it's a course, but like it's mostly self-taught. and stuff like this. So it was like not very easy, but I'm really glad I stuck to it. So this is basically how I got. And Twitter is something that helped me a lot, because if it wouldn't been like for people interacting with people, finding a community and stuff, and generally sharing my experience, and also seeing other people's experience, like with struggling learning tech and struggling being in tech and stuff like this, probably I wouldn't be here at this point. So this is why like I'm really excited about like talking about, my journey, my experience and stuff like this. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so now it's even stranger now because I've been tweeting
Mm-hmm.
about Web3 for the last two years. So it's even stranger that we
Yeah.
didn't meet before. I don't know how this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
possible. I,
yeah.
I blame I blame the algorithm probably, but yes. So nice. So we have so many questions here, and yes. So I also understood like the power of social media. I would like to know more about even like the process, because it's true, like I make this episode not just for everyone, you can drop questions, but sometimes on social media we are so focused on maybe what we are doing, our job. Creating content is basically a job. Sometimes we lose track of
Yeah.
like what our friends are doing. Like I don't know, for example, exactly the story of how you got hired. I saw you like always like running like crazy, doing a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
probably
I
now
try.
at least we have like 10 minutes, so I can also understand a bit of context, which is the area you're working in, because I'm honestly interested, but sometimes for me it's harder to understand and to focus on something or one person on their story.
Of
They
course.
share something, I saw something, but I want to know more. Last call. If you want to drop some questions, we had like I think at 10 already. So drop them in
That's
the
a
chat,
lot.
because we have many questions already. So usually there are two states. Either you don't have any questions and I have to invent them. Once you get starting at 3, 4, 5, we are doomed. So Cristina,
Okay.
so I would
Okay,
like
okay.
to first of all, before we go into the story of Cristina and the questions, I made a poll like how many people know Cristina, and 40% of the people, they don't know Cristina. So now go in the description, go and follow her on Twitter, and so we can keep going. So we will fix at least this bug for today. Please do that. Nice. So Cristina,
Okay.
something about like the process of like you getting this job, something that maybe can also be
Mm.
useful for someone, because I see when I jumped on Twitter, I think in 2020, asked like, "Are you looking for a job?" And like 70% of the people said yes. I was shocked. Like, say, so many people are looking for a job on social media. So this poll always has been a bit strange to me. So maybe sharing your experience, I'm sure that can help someone. So how it worked.
Yeah, so basically, I wanted to jump in on what you said. Most people I follow on Twitter probably are looking for a job. And also me, I was on Twitter for a year. And for that year, basically 10 months of that, I was just studying and I did not have any job. And I was like, learning about tech and trying to understand like, what the hell is going on, all the trends or everything, like which framework should I study, which JavaScript framework, all those type of things, For the most part, that has been my kind of journey. So I basically, if you don't have a job, if you're learning, I definitely understand you. And it's been me, like, you know. So how I got a job, I started actively looking for a job in September 5th. But even before that, basically what I did was starting to build in public a little bit. I did 100 days of code, and then I really optimized, like for everything I did in 100 days of code or any other projects I did, I tried to kind of optimize my GitHub account, like to make it as, foolproof as possible, even to people that are not necessarily like technical. Like every project of mine has like a description that is non-technical, and like if my basically my project is, oh, I'm trying to study JavaScript API fetches and stuff like this, this is not going to be my description. My description is going to be what the project does. This is a news project, etc., etc. So like, bounded to the real world. So I optimize my GitHub, I optimize my LinkedIn as well. So if you go to my LinkedIn, if you go to my how to say, to my banner, to my description, etc., etc. I have all the keywords necessary in order to be found on LinkedIn. Like if a recruiter goes to my LinkedIn, they know absolutely, like in the first seconds, that I am a React developer, that I know JavaScript, that I know TypeScript, etc., etc. It's in my bio, it's in my description, and it's my banner. So if you are like, if you have a specific title you have in mind, don't necessarily put that in it. Just put your stack and stuff like this. Titles always depends. Like you can be a front-end developer, you can be a web developer. It doesn't really matter that much. Like your stack matters, you know. So that's it. And then like, of course, I did Twitter and stuff like this. And basically how I found a job, it's an interesting experience. As I said, I started looking for a job in September, and in 28th of September, I was officially like with a contract, with a job contract, which is like quite insane if you think about it. Specifically, Francesco, for Italy, you know how like unemployment here is, and finding a job like in less than 1 month is like very, very difficult. And I think this is sign to the fact that the tech industry here in Italy is going quite better than any other industry out there, honestly. So I applied to a few companies, and I got a few. I applied to companies via LinkedIn always, and whenever there was like, of course, CV and stuff like this, I sent my CV. If there was like a specific paragraph that I could read about myself, I would always like take the time and write it very well, etc., etc. And I got a few calls back, specifically from one company, which I got to do the technical interview, and I got accepted to that. I like, it was a successful technical interview, and then I got contacted by a LinkedIn recruiter, and I also had another successful interview as well. So I had to kind of choose between, the two things. And at the end of the day, I chose like what struck most to me. One was Angular, because I used to study Angular, because I think Angular is very like kind of powerful here in Italy, and a lot of jobs that I applied were only Angular like development. But for some reason, I got this. They accepted me for this job, even though I did not know any React. So I decided to go for React. So basically, this is my journey. If you have follow-up questions or anything, or some part of my story does not sound very, clear, please feel free to ask specific questions.
Yes, so I already have many questions, but I will give the priority to the questions that you are giving in the chat, of course. Yes, so I don't know, shameless plug. I tried Angular 17, like with Minko Gege from Google
I
last
saw
Friday.
that.
And then I made a tutorial of like the 25 tutorials of Angular 17 live last Saturday, and tomorrow this video will be out. So, and also I don't share much about this on social media because I'm more focused on the DevOps part, the backend part. But my first front-end framework was Angular, and yes, so it's interesting, of course. And yes, I also got the first job that it was Angular related, and I did 100 more things, but let's say the reason why I got hired, it was mostly for that. Yeah, so yes, nice. So if you are ready, I will start to churn a bit the questions because we have many, and then we can keep going. So, of course, make some questions that are related to this topic. So mostly developers and developers' career. So this is the perfect questions, for example, by Mono. So best advice to start, I think, to start a developer career. So what do you think is the best way to start this a developer career?
Well, it depends. What do you mean by beginning? Do you mean like start learning or start looking for a job, or it's your first day of the job? Like it really depends, like what do you mean by start developer career? But like if you mean learning, I think the most important thing is to have a specific kind of roadmap in mind, or at least like a specific, field of the tech you want to be in. There's so many things, like there's backend, front end, cybersecurity. There's so many things going on here, honestly, and you should like find the thing that really sparks the most joy in you, and that you feel like is going to make you the happiest, or at least like make you the most excited about like learning, because learning is a very not necessarily easy kind of experience when it comes to tech, especially if you're self-learning. So yeah, I think the most important thing is to have a goal in mind and have also this stack that you think that is going to work for you to find a job, because obviously the final goal is to find a job. And depending on the market that you are in, or you are trying to kind of insert yourself in, try to kind of how do you say that, make some research, maybe on LinkedIn or somewhere else. Maybe you're, I don't know, maybe based in USA or based in California, etc. Try to make it like as specific as possible to the job market that you want yourself, insert yourself in, and look for, I don't know, cybersecurity stuff or front-end developer, and try to see the stack that people, that recruiters look for specifically, and try to understand the technologies you need to learn. And once you get that, kind of work with ChatGPT or work with YouTube and stuff like this, Google, whatever you will, to understand when should you like learn the specific things. So if you want to be a front-end developer, of course, you're going to learn CSS and HTML before you do learn JavaScript. Or you're going to learn, I don't know, JavaScript before you learn Redux, because of course you cannot be able, like, you are not going to understand anything of Redux if you don't know JavaScript, or if you don't know a specific framework, for example. So try to have a goal, have your stack, that it's not going to be so fixed necessarily, but like something, like a roadmap or something like this, and understand when you should study every single thing that is going on. So yeah, and have a goal. That's the most important. Have a big goal, huge goal, exciting goal. Like if the goal is not exciting, the journey is not going to be exciting either. So that's it.
Love it. This is what I needed like 7 years ago, like when I started to switch career. No, for real. This is really inspiring, and it's true. It's true. And I want to bring like on this channel like more people who share like successful stories and how also they used the social media to show that this is actually possible to just use. And also you see
Yeah.
like, like creating your profile. It seems like it's a lot of extra effort, because of course you need the technical skills, you need to understand at least one technology well to get hired, but all these together, it's something. So having like this
Yes.
profile prepared, especially if you're looking for a job, if you already are a millionaire,
Yeah.
you don't care about the banner of your LinkedIn profile, but if you are looking for your first role, it's super important. So we are sharing this, something that it's very, 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 very important.
I will jump in and say something else when it comes to kind of optimizing. I talk about it a lot because it's really important, like optimizing Twitter, optimizing LinkedIn, and optimizing GitHub specifically. I mean, you'd think, oh, who cares? It's not like blah, 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 blah. But honestly, 90% of developers that are actually in the market don't do it. And 90% of people that are trying to kind of find a job don't really do it. So if you have a good profile picture, if you have a like outstanding a description and stuff like this, not really outstanding, it doesn't have to be incredible. It has to be clear to non-technical people, which are recruiters. If you have everything clear and set up like this, you're going to really stand out, because it's like people are not going to your LinkedIn profile to search and understand what you do for 5 minutes. They want to eat quickly, 7 seconds. If you understand what you do in 7 seconds, a glance, then you're good to go. If you don't, then you need to optimize your profiles. So this is basically it. I'm very passionate about this. I talk with passion.
No, it's true, and I mean, think that you can make the difference between having a job or not having a job just by creating your LinkedIn profile 30 minutes, 1 hour. It's mind blowing, because as developers, usually you don't need to tell developers code more, because this is what they do already. Let's say because they like it. But from a generic perspective, I see many developers don't creating the other stuff. So soft skills, their profiles, exposing. Like, you have no idea how many people told me, like, Francesco, I'm desperate, I'm looking for a job, and I tell, okay, show me your GitHub profile, and it's empty. Or like, so like, if I say, but I'm working on a big project. How can a recruiter know this?
Yeah,
Out of the
exactly.
blue. So it's It's strange, but yes, nice. We have so many questions. We'll try to answer to as many as possible before Cristina. Cristina also has a Twitter space today, of course, because she is
Yes.
crazy. So yes, let's move on. Let's move on, Cristina. I'm enjoying this. I also want 5 minutes after the live stream to just speak in Italian for 5 minutes. So, do you know any portal to get a remote job? How would you suggest to look for a job online? I would say. I'll twist the question.
Okay, so my experience has been different, but from what I understand and from what like I've heard, I think the best way to kind of look for a remote job is obviously being active, because the only way you're kind of going to make yourself stand out and make yourself kind of known to people is by being online, because you want to find a job online, of course. And I think specifically GitHub is going to be the thing that is going to help the most, and contributing to open source as well, and networking, not only like on Twitter but also on LinkedIn, and trying to find like-minded people. Like if you see somebody that like works remotely and stuff like this, like connect with them, try to understand like how they work, how is their job, not necessarily like maybe you could drop a DM, but maybe that person is not going to respond. Like, so try to warm up in the comments and stuff like this. Try to even ask like questions in the comments, etc. It's always fine, and it's always better, because like the answer is going to be, public for everyone to kind of understand what is going on. So yeah, that's basically my answer. I mean, it's kind of shortly, minimal, limited, because like it's finding a remote job is like different from what I've experienced. But I think you can do it by going LinkedIn, Twitter, and etc. And obviously networking a lot. It's really important. Like genuinely, but like, you know what? I'm going to say it genuinely, like with passion, with heart, like find friends. You know what? Don't find like people that are going to find you a job, find friends. And then, of course, you're going to kind of be able to find a job, and also share your experience, because it's not always very easy to be in tech. So yeah. Oh, I see Graham sorry, Graham.
I see Graham.
Yeah.
Also, some people are starting getting impatient in the chat, so please be patient. I have the list of, because you luckily StreamYard is helping me, so I saved the questions, but we're reading
Oh,
now
you
the
start
questions.
them, yeah.
So you already have. So basically, we are reading the questions that you made at 7:10 p.m. and now it's 7:30. So so let's try to answer to as many as possible, and let's move on. So. Too many frameworks and tools. I agree. I keep exploring. Should I focus on one or explore more?
Well, it depends. Do you want to find a job? Do you want to explore tech? What is your main goal? I think you should have a goal and go towards that. Again, if your goal is to find a job, try to understand your job market and try to understand which framework is going to be the best for that. For example, when I was trying to understand which framework I wanted to study, I tried to understand like the differences between all of them. I did not necessarily code. I did not necessarily do one small project in every framework, because like I knew that it was going to be overwhelming for me, and I did not want to kind of waste my energy and doing that. And I just kind of understood like which framework is more interesting for my job market, and it happened to be Angular, and I just went with it. And I know like on Twitter, it's not a very popular framework. It's not a popular opinion to code in Angular or to like Angular at all. But just like you have to own like your choices, and you have to really do what is best for you and what is best for your end goal. This is like the most important thing, that like the most important takeout. If you want to say it, like understand what is your passion, what is your goal, and every single step that you do in your learning journey, you have to have in mind that goal. It is going to be beneficial. I mean, if you want to like take your time, and if you have the privilege to take your time, of course, and kind of explore tech, that is absolutely fine. I mean, you can do it. You can do wherever you want. If you want to kind of learn every single framework out there, or like explore, like do a calculator with every single framework, a counter, whatever you want. But like if you don't have that the privilege to kind of explore and stuff like this, you should have a specific goal in mind, and every single step of your journey is going to be towards that goal. So that's basically it.
I agree. Now I have a question for you super fast. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you make videos?
And you said, no,
You
I
should.
told you,
Like,
I
you're a
should.
natural live stream. You're a natural. You're so natural on camera. What are you
No,
waiting for?
you know why? Because like maybe I should do streams. I was thinking about Twitch and stuff like this, but it's time consuming. You see my audio? I did a sound check yesterday, and I was like, this is going to be trash. My audio is so bad. But anyways, I'd like to open Twitch or something like this. I don't really necessarily think I might do like YouTube or like some things where I have to edit videos, because like it takes so much time, you know. And Twitter is already my part-time job. I mean, I don't need another full-time job.
I agree. I agree. Now you can even stream on Twitter. It's probably not the best streaming platform,
Yeah.
but for example, for someone who already has a Twitter audience, can even make sense. I'm just trying to bring Cristina on the dark side of videos, of course, in the meanwhile. So nice. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. On by the way, I think Cristina is with C, but by the way, it's so we like on social media to show, I don't know, when we have a success, when we get hired. That's absolutely fine. But what is probably harder is to show, maybe if you want to share the most difficult part of your career, or like if you want to share like a moment which has been kind of hard, and maybe how you ever overcome it, if you want.
Yeah. I will say about like my learning journey and stuff like this, because my career just started. So I mean, I don't really have difficult parts for now. I'm just chilling anyways. So basically, when it comes to like my learning journey, the most difficult part has been like 6 months in. Just like for perspective, my whole journey, like learning journey, was a year. It started. Okay, thank you, Graham. Thank you. Anyways, it started on September 19th, and I finished on September 2012, 2020 or something like that. So it's very interesting because it's like a whole year, like it hit like a year. Anyways, the most difficult part was in 6 months in, when I really, really wanted to quit learning, because I felt that I was so slow, and I was so like, I did not have the logic it takes to be a developer. I did not have the means, I did not have the skills. I was this and I was that, and I was not enough, etc., etc., etc. And basically at that time, I was, of course, as every developer, has a mental breakdown when starting to learn JavaScript. So I just was learning JavaScript at that time. And I think I did not use the right resources to do so. I mean, the resources were fine, but they were not beginner friendly necessarily, because I started with javascript.info, which is like a very, very good resource. But I think it's a good resource if you have a little bit of experience with JavaScript. But like learning JavaScript just from that, like for perspective, basically it's like a very in-depth JavaScript written course, and you don't necessarily kind of do any exercises, you don't do like any specific coding things, you just read, and then you're going to have like a small little exercise at the end, you know. And I think like from my perspective, it's not the best way to learn coding. Like it's like by doing and understanding while you're doing, and then like reading like docs, or maybe reading how do you call it, reading like some books, etc., etc. So this has been my darkest moments, where I actually try to kind of learn JavaScript in depth. So it's going to tell you a lot of things about JavaScript. Like it was not me, you know, it was not me, it was JavaScript. Okay.
So I probably would have betted in the answer of like most difficult part, there was the word JavaScript at least once, and I won this ideal bet with myself. Nice. Yeah. Before we keep going, I see that only 40% of the people that are here, they know Cristina. So check her on Twitter, follow her now. Otherwise, You are not allowed to be here. Nice, nice. Let's keep going with the questions. We have so many, but let's try to get the most relevant one. I like this one by Shub Sharma. Like, if you had to pick one thing that has helped you the most to get your first role, which one would be?
Mm, communication skills, I would say, because I feel like I'm going to open up about something that is very dear and near to my heart. I feel like I talked myself in, like, not talked myself, I talked like other people into getting me a job in some way, you know? I not like it sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how to say it. Sometimes I feel like I talk well, like I talked so well during my interview, and I'm just like, sometimes I feel like, oh, did I talk too well? And I think I'm too good, you know, something like this. So basically, I think my communication skills, which are not incredible, obviously, as you can hear, they are fine. I mean, it's fine, you know. This is what got me like my first role, like really having specific projects that I did and really understanding how to convey why my projects were impactful and why they were important, etc., etc. And also about my previous experience, even like, for example, I quit university and I kept saying that during every interview just to let them know that I was that passionate about development that I quit my university, which is supposed to be, you know, a safe path and stuff like this, you know. So just like know how to talk, like know your strengths and know your weaknesses, and some weaknesses can even be turned into strengths. Like if you're shameless about it, people are not going to care. People are going to like it because they're not going like, what are your strengths? Oh, it's how do you call it? Team building, etc. Who cares? I mean, everybody says those type of things. And just say something interesting, you know. Say something different, you know. So this is basically it. So yeah, I don't know.
Wow. No,
That
yeah,
was a
yes.
mess, but it's
No,
fine.
no, I love it. Also, the part of the strengths to weaknesses, like also coming from sports world as a coach. I worked as a coach for 20 years. So, like understanding which are your weaknesses and strengths. It's not just about finding a job, but like your whole life. You understand,
Yeah,
okay, I don't know, I get distracted easily. So, I don't know, I remove the distractions. Or I get, so for example, I remember that in my CV, I put like as a strength, or someone asked me, like one strength, it's like wake up early. Is this a strength? It depends, of course. So
yeah,
I turn this into a strength because it's true. So, for example, like even the person who was doing the interview, he was also like an early bird. So like, but it's not a popular
yeah,
answer usually. So I had to
yeah,
explain this
exactly.
during the interview. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Like
nice.
if you say problem solving, I mean, it's mandatory. You have to know how to problem solve to be a developer. So like, it's fine, but just don't put it in there. Like, do something interesting. This is like also something you can do in general, like on social media and stuff like this. All your descriptions. If you read your description, you read your bio, and you feel like this could be like on every other developer's bio, this means it's not a good bio. Just like do something that feels like you know, something specific to you, not like every other developer out there. So this is how you're going to kind of be different, of course.
Amazing, amazing. So people are not just asking why we don't do a podcast. I don't know if you are proposing to do a podcast series. I don't know. Probably it will be something with spaghetti. But I told you that then you put two Italians in the same room, something cool will happen. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly,
we
exactly,
have
exactly. We keep doing
absolutely.
this, you know?
We don't know if it will be good or bad, but something will happen for sure. So at least we know this. So
Yeah.
we had a very long question by Morali, front end developer. For a year, I started learning backend 3 months ago. I'm learning and building projects to become a full stack developer. Best of luck. I graduated in 2019. Oh, it was very long one. Working in that business. I want to get okay. I think it's this. I want to get a remote job as a developer in US or Europe. Every job post asks for 5-6 years of experience for an entry level. What should they do? Does an experience affect to get a first remote dev job? I'm from India. What can we tell here?
Okay, so honestly, I have an opinion about this. So basically, like I read a lot of posts on Twitter, like, oh, recruiters asked for 3 years experience, 4 or 5 years experience for like from junior developers. But honestly, who cares? Like, who cares what they put in there, like in the job descriptions? I mean, you have the skills, you have the stack. Like if they're like React developer, you know React. um, so, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you know that you know your things, apply anyways. If you don't necessarily have 5 years of experience, who cares? If you have 1 year of experience, who cares? If you think that in that 1 year you were able to kind of achieve a lot of things and you were able to kind of, learn a lot of things, it's fine. You're going to be fine. I mean, when I was applying to junior developer, I was when actually I will rephrase that. When I was applying to my first job, I wasn't even applying to junior developers. I was just applying to front-end developers. That's it. I don't care if that's junior. Unless it was like senior, of course I would not apply because they're not going to accept me. But like if that was mid or junior, I would apply anyways because like it's about the person, and if they see that like I'm willing to learn, etc., they are going to accept me. I mean, who cares if you don't have like those 5 years? You have your grit, you have your strength, you have your passion, you have a very good base probably, so you're going to be fine. I mean, apply anyways. If they're going to reject you, I guess that's their loss. So that's it. Just do it. And
Yes,
also, the more you do
sorry,
interviews, the more you're going to kind of, sorry, the
go
more you
go.
do interviews, the more you're going to like get experience in like, you know, learning about how to answer the questions and stuff like this, and also help yourself with ChatGPT. I did that a lot, and I'm really thankful for like ChatGPT coming out before I started for my for my job search, because like I used to ask ChatGPT, what are the questions that I'm applying for this role. These are the like specifications for the role. What questions do you think they're going to ask me for JavaScript? What questions are they going to ask me for Angular? And I would look at the list of questions and then ask the ChatGPT to answer every single question with simple wording, because I don't want to sound too technical or sound like too like off-putting in the interview, like with simple language, answer these questions in less than 100 words. And then I read everything. And if there's specific questions that I know I would not be able to answer by myself, I kind of try to research. I kind of try to kind of expand a little bit on that topic. But like necessarily, what I did was like do that for JavaScript, HTML, CSS, for Angular, and for like general development questions. So like for like HTTP, stuff like this. And you just read the answer, and basically you're going to know everything you need to know, especially if you know the topic, but you don't necessarily know how to express that with your words and to sound like, the thing you're talking about. Maybe you know it in your mind, but you don't know how to say it. This is going to help you.
Yes, so I think this is mind blowing, and this can go viral on Twitter, like this, because it's simple and very powerful at the same time. And yes, I agree with the fact that here, yes, if you're not a developer, probably you'll not understand anyway. But if you already have some knowledge, you just I don't know to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Probably that's a great way to prepare yourself. Great.
Yeah, maybe
This
there's
was
like maybe there's a specific like topic that you don't know if you are saying like everything that you're supposed to say or something like this. And if you ask ChatGPT, like they're going to say like what are the most important things that you need, like the keywords. And also don't learn the answer by memory. Try to remember the keywords, and that's it. Because if you learn the answer by memory, you're just going to get anxious during the interview trying to remember what the answer specifically was saying. Try to remember the keywords, try to understand like, and then like read it out loud, look away, try to remember it a little bit, and then you're good to go. Like this is going to take you like for everything maximum like 4 hours, and you're going to be fine.
Love it, love it, love it. I also think that the interview process it's broken, like especially the job descriptions. In the 80% of the cases, they are broken. So I agree with your tip. Like if they were not broken, I say, okay, so like the normal process would be you have a requirement of like 2 things, 3 things, and you apply. So this will be the normal in my head. Since everyone is putting 20 things, at this point it's broken and you just go and try all the jobs. I think that this is like a normal adoption. It's not that like since everyone is putting 20 things, you wait for learning 20 things because you'll never get there. At this point, it's it's a war, so it's so we need to get rid of it. And from my experience, also the companies, they put 20 things, but they really need one. Like they really need one. So this is also to tell people, like, if you get rejected, maybe because they put 20 things, but you are not strong in the real requirements. So maybe they need a Python backend developer, and they put Python, JavaScript, frontend, Docker, Kubernetes, but they really need a Python backend. Then you get Python questions, of course, in the technical part. Maybe you are not strong, but maybe you know something else better and you don't get the job. It's normal. It's just that the description sucked, basically. It was super bad. That's it. I want to be honest, but this is, I think, the process. We see some friends here. Yes, of course, you are getting invited now.
I see Jenny laughing at my tiny microphone.
So I want to say that if I knew this, I would not have invited her, but now she's here. It will be unpolite.
I guess.
It's okay. Yes. So yes. So, by the way, let's see if we get some more questions. And there was one good. Let me find. There are too many questions. Okay, there was this one by door. Cristina. Someone put an H. Someone put a K. I think it's Cristina without an H. It would see.
No. It's like it's regular. Just Cristina.
Is it okay? Yeah. No, it's okay. Now that you have your foot in the door as a developer, I like the metaphor. Can you see? It's like when you get the foot, like to get into the metro, something similar.
Yeah, exactly, like me today to get here.
Right, exactly. Can you see yourself diving into new fields? So, what do you think about exploring, let's say, the hype things? So, AI, machine learning. You also talked about Web3. So, let's put like this in the new stuff. What do you think?
I mean, that'd be interesting, honestly. I feel like I need to focus a little bit on like strengthening my skill set, that like my base skill set, which is like front-end developing, and like not like in terms of like becoming senior and then maybe I will do something else. In terms of like I would like to like feel a little bit more comfortable at my job right now, and then maybe if I'll have some free time again, I'd like to explore like not necessarily machine learning. This is not something that really inspires me, honestly. Maybe AI, sorry, like in English, and also does not inspire me so much. Something that inspires me is Web3. If I have to say it, I know the trend is gone, but my passion isn't. So yeah, that's it. And also I'd like to kind of dive a little bit deeper into backend things. I try to learn Java. I failed miserably in compiling like a hello world. So I don't know how this is going to go, but like I'd like to try. Like this is my main focus right now, strengthening and a little bit of backend. But for now, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, you can go on without me. Maybe I'll do something in the future.
Yeah, and just with what you said, I think you will be busy for the next 3 years. So you are set, I think, for a while. But yes, also if we want to do something about blockchain technologies, I'm always up for that. But we are allowed to do that only if it comes back as a hype on Twitter. Otherwise, we are not allowed to do Web3
exactly.
stuff. So, as you
only
say,
when Bitcoin is going to hit 100K.
Exactly.
2026.
Which is
when was that? I don't remember.
Yeah. So we have this question that I can reply super fast, Francesco. Will you be in spaghetti space? I don't know because I've already been there. So probably
I haven't invited Francesco today, so he cannot come. Exactly. This is how it works.
So I'm not allowed to go there. I can support externally, just because I like the word spaghetti. But that's it. That's it for now. Thank you. We have more questions.
People want to come. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. Sorry, I was talking. I was interrupting you. You were saying?
No, it's okay. I was just looking for
Okay.
another question. Yeah.
I was saying, I don't remember what the space is about. Why getting into tech? Why or not? Why or why not getting into tech? So I think it's very similar. It's kind of an extension to what we're doing right now. And if you want to come, I'm inviting you now. Like if you have the time to do so, because it will be late. It will be like 9 p.m. for me. So if you're not going to go to sleep at that point, because I know you will wake up very early.
No, yes, I wake up very early. So since I'm not a machine, I'm not Francesco GPT, I need to go to bed early. So when I
Yeah.
put I wake up at 4 a.m., sometimes I'm inspired, I make a post. I get like 100% of the times like, okay, but at which time do you go to sleep? Always, I always get this.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I reply, I will always get this. So probably after 10 p.m. I'm also watching the Witcher again series. So probably I'll see one episode today.
Yeah, you need to relax.
Nice. So yes, that's it. And let's see if we find something else. I think there was something like, which was I lost it. This one. Mono is going crazy with the questions, which is great. It's great. Question for Cristina and also Francesco, like if we have time. Best niche to monetize your developing skills. Money. We want money.
I don't have any money. I don't have any. Honestly, this is something like I've been thinking about. Like I have a few followers on Twitter, but like I'm not monetizing anything. I don't even know how to do it, you know. So I'm the worst person to ask this question. I mean, I just do it for fun for now, for friends, for giggles, you know. But I don't really know. Like I'm not going to say blah 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 because I have no idea. So if Francesco would like to answer that, probably you would be a better
Yeah,
person.
I mean,
You know?
I mean, the best way to monetize the development skills is to find a job as a developer. Maybe I want to
Of
sound
course.
obvious, but
But
this. So
I
now,
heard
no,
sorry, I heard that you can also like in some way monetize like via open source. I don't really know how that works, but I know it's like possible. So like I know people like EditHub and stuff like this, they do it, but I don't know like how they do it. Like you can follow them and read their tweets and see how it's done.
yes. So since the question is best niche to monetize your developing skill, I don't know if maybe you are asking like what's the best area, like Web3, front end, back end, because I see niche here. So maybe you are asking like what's the best niche, like should you do front end, back end? So I don't think it will get out with a question about this. I think that like everybody wants to be a full stack developer. Everyone we like this sort of like the job description. I define myself also full stack developer, but at the end of the day, I think that probably starting being strong in one of the two, it's better than just starting from as a full stack from the beginning. So this is probably the best way to monetize and getting money, and then you expand, becoming probably full stack developer. Probably web development is probably the most common one. So I feel to recommend this unless you are, I don't know, really crazy about, really interested in, I don't know, data, the data analyst or something like that, which is sort of like very niche area. So in this, I will go with like something common,
Okay.
becoming strong in one front end framework or one back end framework. Find a job from that, then become full stack, and then you'll see. So this is a
Oh, so this
process
was the
that I
question. I
think
misinterpreted the question. Yeah, I see that. I see that now.
it's because I had a couple of more minutes to read it again while you were replying. So
Okay.
that's nice. Let's see. Next, so you see, next spaghetti space, Francesco need to be there. So force type, say this, but
Of course.
someone is asking about salary in Italy. I don't know if we want to share.
Yeah, of
Share
course. Why
some.
not? I mean, basically, salary in Italy is not the best. I mean, of course, it's not something you expect maybe in the US. It's not something you'd expect in UK or any other European country. Honestly, from what I've heard, and from my perspective and also like economical point of view. Different studies have come up lately, and like ratings for Italy in general. Italy has the same rating as Romania, if not less. When it comes to like economical growth or economical, investment and stuff like this. So basically, of course, the salary is not as like same as in Romania, or at least I guess not, or at least I hope not. But here the range, starting level is 22K a year, basically, generally, and you can go up to 40K if you really, really work for it. I mean, generally, senior mid developers, I think they do like 32 or something like this. But like if you are really, really skilled, you can go for 40. So like it's not much, you see. In the US, you can make much more, of course. It's Italy.
It is. It is what it is. I would say.
Yeah.
At least we have good food. Okay, so yes, so I said so. I don't know for how long Cristina can stay because first of all, she came back home and digitally jumped into this live stream. So maybe she wants
Yeah,
to rest before doing the space. I would feel bad if I don't know. For us, having dinner is more important than all this stuff. So food
exactly,
first,
exactly.
and then all the other events. So if we get more people asking for this, we can make maybe another episode, another space later. Because, for example, I invited Cristina on the Daily Dev account. She invited me on her Twitter account, but I never invited her on my Twitter account. So maybe
Yeah.
we can fix with this for sure. And if you have one last question, you can drop it. Oh my god, like, I saw like 4 questions in 1 second. See some familiar faces, and let's see. We have many.
Ricky.
Nice.
You have a similar face as well.
So some people just want us to do a weekly appointment for something. So we
Yeah,
barely had, you see, we barely had the time to do this once. Doing this on a
exactly.
weekly basis, probably it's a bit too much for now. But if you support me and Cristina, if you like what we do and we share it, probably we'll do just more. So that's a simple rule. But thank you, Cristina. Let's take some final minutes because I also would like to talk to you 5 minutes after this. So
Yeah.
let's give some final tips like for career. I think you shared a lot of stuff. We got so many questions. We replied some of them, the most important ones. So let's just drop some final tips, final questions, and then we can, I think, close this first, let's say, live video collaboration. You see, I'm getting out of word. My days, I'm starting to go down fall because I wake up at 4. It's 8 p.m. It's like midnight in my head.
Yeah. When you say this type of things, like final words, blank. My mind is blank. My mind is broken. I don't know what to say. So basically, anyways, I don't know. Final words, final tips. I guess I can like sum up like what we've been saying up until now. Basically, I would really focus, like if you're learning, I'd really focus on building in public. Not necessarily like you don't have to do crazy stuff. Just like talk about your daily wins, daily struggles, and stuff like this. Some things you're doing, find a community or find like some people that are like-minded that you'd like to share experience with, etc., etc. Interact with other people on Twitter as well. I think this is something that really, really helped me. I will never like not say it. Twitter helped me. If it was not for Twitter, I would have quit, because the community, the support, like it's not like even directly people saying things to me, which was also the case, like commenting on my posts, etc., etc. But also like seeing other people posting and saying, "Oh, today I did this, I did that, I was struggled with this, I won that, etc., etc." It's like really, really helpful to get in the good mindset, and also seeing other people that I really have this thing. When I started 100 Days of Code, or in general, when I started my journey, I saw, like, I connected with a few people that also had, like, low following, were just starting Twitter, just starting how to code. And now I see those people, and like our journey is, I don't know, kind of mirrored, and it's really, really nice, when you start like this type of thing. So find people that are studying things that you do as well, and or that, like I said, like-minded people. And of course, with time, you're going to, give each other strength, and you're going to give each other inspiration and stuff like this. And also another thing I'd like to recommend to everybody, if you want to kind of improve communication skills, participate in spaces, listen to spaces, but also request to speak. It's not that scary, first of all. Second of all, you'll probably get, your request probably will get accepted, and you'll get to say what you have to say, and you probably will contribute to the conversation in ways that you don't think that are important, but actually, like, this is how spaces work, this is how they go. Like, if nobody speaks, there's no space. So so it's like, participate in spaces, optimize your LinkedIn, optimize your GitHub. Be a nice person, be curious. I think the most important thing, like in tech, is not necessarily feeling, oh, I need to know everything. Just be curious, because if you're not curious about tech, I think, how are you going to get on? You have to always study, you have to always do things. So just be curious, try to understand what drives you, what's your specific niche that you're the most interested in, and be curious about it. So that's it. That's it. I don't know what to say more.
Thank you. You absolutely nailed it. I don't know what's the issue on your side. It's absolutely fine. And no, it has been really inspiring. And I see people tend to think that people who do live streams, people who do Twitter Spaces, they're like aliens. No, they're just a bit more shameless. And also kudos to you, Cristina, for just to do this. That maybe you don't do this on a daily basis, and that's it. We just need to understand this. They are human beings with a phone in their hand, and they just clicked a button. That's the difference between someone doing things or not. And of course, especially in spaces, exactly, you can just, it's very natural. Let's say you just jump in. You don't have to request to speak on the first space. You listen a couple of them, you read the room a bit. And I also have to say that there are some spaces who are more like open, like people are saying like, come, grab the mic, come. On some spaces, I don't know, maybe they already have like 6 guests, maybe it's harder. Maybe they say, we will invite you at the end, so read and please listen to the host, what they are saying, because usually it helps. There are different types of spaces. So if you get in the right one, where I do spaces, for example, when you can practice public speaking. So the goal of the space is to get you on stage. So it's plenty of this. Many people are doing this. And so that's it. Cristina, we are done in this first collaboration. So sorry for disappointing you. We will not do a weekly event for now because we are kind of busy, both of us. But who knows? Maybe in the future we will do something else. Last thing I would like to say is to, again, check Cristina's Twitter account, follow her. And yes, see you soon, and best of luck. We have a Twitter space of Cristina's account in less than 1 hour. So that's in Italy, it's barely the time to prepare the dinner and eat fast. So 1 hour is
I have to eat like the fastest. I have to be the fastest person right now.
You know, yeah. So I know how this is important. So I'm about to close this event now. I'm getting out of word. I'm going down with my battery. I'm done. So thank you so much, Cristina, for coming. It has been a great episode. Next time with another microphone for sure. But yes, that's it. Can I join a Twitter space? I mean, why not? For example, if you are joining this space today and you request a mic, tell that you are coming here from the live stream. So it's a great opportunity to now take action, just not this. So see you everyone on the Cristina's Twitter space in less than 1 hour. I can't promise I'll be there, but I'll try to at least jump just to wave at you. Okay? Nice. Thank you so much.